Howdy, howdy, howdy. Okay, okay, I'm on. Hello, hi, howdy. I'm Sister Serena Severe of the Weird City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I'm also going to use a timer. Okay, so my talk is about the sisters. It's called Sisters Act Locally, as told by me, Sister Serena Severe. Oh, good, it works. And there's our logo. Hooray. Ooh, yay. Hi, folks. It's so good to see y'all. Thanks for coming out, and thank you, Lemuel, for what a wonderful presentation that was. Okay, I'm going to get right into it. Okay, disclaimer. Hi. This is about perpetual indulgence. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to keep this very PG. But I know that this subject matter can be offensive to some people, so I just want you to know at the beginning, it's not my intention to offend anybody's religious or moral sensibilities. There's going to be a lot of jargon, a lot of sister words that aren't real words or that are real words that we use in a funny way. If you have any questions, please ask me at the end. I'm going to do what I can to explain. Sistery is an oral tradition. I said oral. So what follows are my views, and hopefully I'm not telling you the wrong thing, but, you know, I only can say what I've heard before. So, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. We are non-religious queer nuns. We educate, advocate, and raise funds for the two LGBTQIAA plus community. That is two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, queer, intersex, asexual, ally, and etc. Yeah, thanks. Long form. I gave you all the letters. We are 57 houses on 4 continents, and I think we've got a few more houses right now. We were founded in 1979 in San Francisco, California, and there we go. Our members include people of all genders, all sexualities, and all abilities. So, the Weird City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are the local Austin, Texas chapter. We were founded in 2012. We had our exequator in 2015. We hosted the Texas Synod, which is this picture on the bottom right here, in 2020, right before the pandemic. Currently, we're at our largest size ever. We have 9 fully professed members and 6 novice members. So, how do you solve a problem like Serena? My name is Sister Serena Severe. That's my Weird City Sisters name. Everybody takes a funny little name in the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I moved to Austin in 2008. I attended UT, where I received a bachelor's of Classics, Latin, French, and Linguistics. This is why I'm a talker. I work for the Texas legislature, so I'm in the political world, and I currently attend ACC studying cybersecurity. I also have an Associates of Dance from there. I joined the order in 2017. I became fully professed in 2020. I became Mistress of Novice, that's Vice President, in 2021. And in 2022, I became the Abbess. So, Sisterlingo, a crash course in 5 lessons. Here we go. Sisterlingo 101 is manifestation. As Amy said earlier, we like to manifest things in the world. The sisters like to manifest this clown character that you see. And when we get dressed up in our clothes, we call that a manifestation. We have 4 membership levels. First is aspirancy. All of y'all in here could be aspirants right now. That's basically your sort of plain clothes thing. You're aspiring to be a member of our house, so you just come hang out with us. The next is postulancy. You are asking to be a member of our house. Behind me, you'll see a photo of our house manifesting, and you'll see some folks in gray berets. Those folks are postulants. They have a band of makeup that goes from ear to ear and covers the eye, and that represents the fact that they are listening and watching. They're observing, so that they can become fully professed sisters. Before they can do that, though, we have a level called novitiate. The novices wear a white veil, and they're sort of beginner sisters. They take on their name, they start to appear, they can have a social media presence, and they're still learning to become fully professed sisters, who we called black veils. And black veils can wear anything and do kind of whatever they want. So in order to move between these levels, you have to go through a process called elevation. There's all these different requirements. And all the sisters vote. We're very democratic. There's a lot of voting that happens. Likely because we're a 501c3 and we want to protect the brand of the sisters from, you know, the different elements of our community that are not, that are perhaps too perpetually indulgent. So we have two different types of membership. One is the sister. So most of these folks you see here are sisters, but the one on the very right is a guard. So the guards, they look like our muscle. They hold purses. They hold doors. They give us designated drivers. You'll also notice that most of these sisters are in whiteface, just like I am right now. Originally, the sisters did not wear whiteface, but eventually one of them started to work for the government in San Francisco. And so in order to protect their identity, they began to wear whiteface. However, one of the original sisters, Sister Missionary Position, hold for applause. Sister Mish did not choose to wear makeup, and so we call this guard over here is in Mish face, and one of our sisters here tonight is also in Mish face, and there's nothing wrong with that. These clothes that we wear, this lovely silk dupioni smock front dress that I have on, we call our habit. We also call it geesh or drag. So next, Sister Lingo 102, coronet or cornet, this funny little thing I got on my head. On the left here, you'll see a representation of all of the different headpieces. Each different chapter creates their own headpiece so that when the sisters come together, we can kind of see just by eye who is from where, which is a lot of fun. So you'll see at the top, we have San Francisco, and on the right is Los Angeles. We call it the Hoobie Doobie. Below that is Dallas. It's a cowboy hat with a lot of feathers on it. I'm wearing the signature Austin Disco Mary, as we are allegedly the live music capital of the world. And to my left is Sister Daphne from Berlin, wearing what is the most popular coronet, which is boob ears. Lovely. It's a bra on the head, covered with a veil. We love that. Okay, next, we have three different types of gatherings of sisters. The first is an exequator or exequator, and that's when a house becomes fully professed. So just like an individual has to go through 4 stages of membership, individual chapters also have to go through 4 stages of membership. And when they exceed into the fullness of the order, those folks hold a party called an exequator, and everybody comes and has a good time and celebrates their work. Next is a synod. That's what happens when a group of regional houses get together and have a good time, manifest, do some classes. The final one is a conclave, which is an annual event. Where all the sisters come together on anniversaries that are divisible by 5. We go to the Mother House in San Francisco. We just had our 45th this year. What a hoot. Next will be in 2029, the 50th. Oh my God, there's going to be so many nuns. And here you can see this is from 2019, the 40th anniversary. Okay, number 4. We have some other member sort of representations. The first are saints, sinners, and angels. These are members of the community that the sisters recognize for their work in the community or for their particular relationship with the sisters. In the Weird City Sisters, we recognize saints and sinners. So up on the top, you can see we recently sainted local activist Bridget Bandit, who is, we love Bridget. She's doing a heck of a job right now in Washington, D.C. And below that, we can see the San Francisco house sainting Stormy Daniels. The sisters are on the forefront of the political world. We also have folks who are called the nuns of the above. And these are sisters, full professors. Yes, right. They love it when you laugh. I don't know if they're here with us. Hi, nuns. If they are, I don't know. Don't look too hard. So the nuns of the above are folks who are members of our organization who passed beyond the veil and are on the other side of whatever this life is. We love them. We respect them. And here is Sister Blanche Davidian from Dallas. We love Sister Blanche. Okay, last sister lingo. Okay, so what are we doing here? I already said the word drag. Drag means clothes, but it also kind of gives you this idea of a certain type of performance. So the way I see it is drag is a technique or a set of techniques of characterization. Drag queens use them. You can use them in a play. You can use them in a book. We use this set of techniques to create nun characters or religious figures. We call this appropriating resonant imagery. So you may have heard of a religion called Christianity. It is the largest religion in the world. And if you didn't know this, the word propaganda actually comes from an office of the Catholic Church, the Office of the Propagation of Faith. So these images just kind of exist in the world. Everybody knows what a nun looks like, kind of, what a religious Christian sister looks like. So we appropriate that image and we lens it in order to project this archetype of the sacred clown. I could make a whole presentation about the sacred clown. Just think of like a court jester. So a court jester is able to speak truth to power in front of the king, but in a way that's non-threatening to the power that exists. And in so doing, he relieves the tension of the members of the court. So we do that for the LGBTQ community. We lens this archetype of the sacred clown through religious imagery in order to provide for our community, our chosen audience, whom I call the queerosphere. That is the demimonde, the half-world of this LGBTQ community. Okay, and here you can see that's my collage that I did. So I took the image of the Kabbalistic tree of life and appropriated it to convey what my ministry is as Sister Serena. Okay, so we have 2 sacred vows that express our mission in 6 words, and we also have a corollary tenet. Make sure I'm on the right one. Okay, the first vow is to promulgate omniversal joy. Promulgate means to proclaim widely. Omniversal we like to use because we believe not in one world, but in a world that is full of layers. And we proclaim joy, that is a state of excited bliss, to all levels of that world. And we do that through being drag clowns. Our second vow is to expiate stigmatic guilt. Okay, so expiate means to make holy. As you may remember, there's this religion called Christianity. Christianity was a branch of what some folks call colonialism, and this colonialism thing has kind of had an effect on the world. One of the things that the Christianity thing did was it deployed these religious figures to the front lines of the colonial world. And when they did that, some of the first folks who they tried to change were folks who were gender, sexual, or sexuality minorities. And the way that they tried to change them was to laden them with this stigma, to make these, just, in the Christian worldview, in a traditional way, these gender, sexual, and sexual minorities were wrong. And so they were laden with this stigma that gave them a sense of guilt. What we try to do is to say that this sense of guilt, in fact, is something sacred. It's something that gives you power. It's not something that's wrong with you. It's something that's right with you. It's not something that you need to change. It's something that changes the world around you. And I wanted to point out some of these buttons here on my mother's little bib that she's wearing. They include remember their names for trans folks who were murdered for being trans. And my favorite is fight AIDS, not people with AIDS. Okay, and that leads me to our corollary tenet, which is blissful harm reduction. The sisters were one of the first organizations to create a safe sex pamphlet called Play Fair, which you can see over here on the left. They created this, I believe, in 1982. So since we were organized in 1979, it was right before the AIDS pandemic came around. The sisters, being in San Francisco, were in a place where a whole lot of folks suffered from AIDS because it was so rampant in the gay men community, the men who have sex with men community. So what we like to do is pass out bliss kits. You can see a mock-up on the far right of our bliss kit, which we pass around to community. It has condoms, lube, a little bit of information for folks to find testing, and a breath mint, because it's better not to brush your teeth 30 minutes before engaging in a sex act, because you get tiny little cuts in your mouth from that. So use a breath mint, it's easier, and it tastes good. And right here in the middle, you can see one of our sisters dressed up in a coronet that she made specifically for the Austin PrEP Access project. PrEP Access refers to pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is a medical protocol that you can talk to your doctor about that can, if you are at risk for contracting HIV, you can get onto this protocol and it will prevent that from happening. It's an amazing thing. Just so you know, the PrEP Access Project is now the Kind Clinic. And we were there with them at the very beginning. Yay, Kind Clinic, we love you. Love, love, love. And Waterloo Health. Okay, so that's a little bit about the sisters. I'm going to go through the next part real quick because I want to see where I am. Oh, I could have been worse. Okay, so 3 threes. I love that picture of me. Three threes, three sisters to know, three sister controversies, because, I mean, I didn't dress up like this to be ignored, and three examples of our local work in Austin. Okay, sister number one is Sister Chanel 2001, also known as Gilbert Baker. So Gilbert Baker created the very first rainbow flag, which you can see here at a museum in Oakland, California. Just so you know, a little fun fact, it included not just the 7 colors of Roy G. Biv, but it also includes pink and light blue. They created this basically in the same way that the sisters create their image. That is, they took a resonant imagery that exists in the world of semiotics, pulled it down, lensed it through this idea of appropriating the resonant imagery for the queerosphere, and then made this symbol something that queer people can identify with. So anytime you see a rainbow flag, rainbow anything, rainbow is a symbol of gay pride, think of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. You can see over here, there's a little card featuring Sister Chanel. This card, she engaged in the little photo shoot for the Comstock Corporation without the proper use of without the rights. So Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and Perpetual Indulgence are both trademarked and copyrighted, which is something that we have to do in order to protect our brand. And this wound up kind of making a lawsuit, and then Sister Chanel kind of left the order, but her legacy certainly lives on. Okay. Number 2, Sister Roma. If you know one sister, it's probably her. She bills herself as the most photographed nun. Isn't she gorgeous? We love her. She led the protests against Facebook, which I'll get to in a minute, in 2014. And she was also elected Grand Marshal of San Francisco Pride in 2012. To be elected, that means you have to go up against a lot of other gay people. And she won. You can see here she is on the right receiving a resolution of recognition from the California State Legislature, and there I am meeting her this past Easter. Love Roma. The other one, the next one, she's not the other one, but she is a one, and that is Sister Unity. Sister Unity is a hoot and a half. You can see here, she's from the Los Angeles house. You can see she's got the hoobie doobie on. She loves to wear orange. And she's a very theatrical sister. She's got her rubber chicken in hand, which she's very well known for, yes. We love Sister Unity. She was the object of a lot of the furor of the Dodger controversy, which I will get to in a moment. And there I am with her also this past Easter. She is also a co-mom, which means she was the mistress of ministry, or missions, I should say, which is she helps raise up the aspirant houses to becoming fully professed. So her influence on the order is far and wide. We love her. Okay, controversy number 1, Sister Boom Boom. What's in a name? Sister Boom Boom's real name, and I'm going to try to do this correctly, Sister Rose of the Bloody Stains of the Sacred Robes of Jesus. That's the technical pronunciation. Oh, wait, thank you. So Boom Boom for short. Sister Boom Boom is one of the very early sisters, and she ran for San Francisco supervisor in 1982. So that's basically San Francisco City Council. It's ranked choice voting. She had to get into 5th place in order to take a seat. She got into 8th, which was pretty good. She did a darn good job. I love this. This is her original campaign material. Surrender Diane does indeed refer to Dianne Feinstein, who was mayor at the time. In 1983, after losing that election, Dianne Feinstein was up for a recall election, and Sister Boom Boom ran for that seat. However, the group of supervisors created a law preventing anyone from running for supervisor using anything other than their legal name. We call this the Sister Boom Boom Law, and it is indeed still on the books in San Francisco. She's famous. In fact, she's so famous that there was a play entitled Execution of Justice about Saint of Our Order Harvey Milk's assassination. And although it was a little bit anachronistic, they did include a Sister Boom Boom character. And in this Broadway production, the Boom Boom character was played by none other than Wesley Snipes. Boom Boom's had a big impact. Okay, the next is the Facebook name protests. So in 2014, Facebook introduced the real name only policy. Basically, before then, you could use whatever name you wanted to create a Facebook profile. At that point, they made it so that you had to use your legal name in order to get a Facebook account. Not only did this affect folks whose names do not follow the traditional naming conventions of white Western folks, it also affected folks in the transgender and drag communities. And so at that time, a whole lot of angry drag queens started protesting at Facebook headquarters in Palo Alto, California. They were led in part by the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and especially Sister Roma, who you can see behind me. They protested a lot. They protested for weeks. They kept going. They kept on it. And eventually, Facebook did make a protocol for folks to use a name other than the name on their driver's license. And it is thanks in no small part to the San Francisco House. It was a big success story for the representation of trans folks just right before what the trans tipping point happened. So we're very proud of the sisters for their work there. More recently, you may have heard of the LA Dodgers Pride Night. This was last year. So last year, the Los Angeles Dodgers, for their Pride Night celebration, offered to honor the LA House of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. This was much to the chagrin of a Catholic bishop and a Republican senator. The Catholic bishop, indeed, was in East Texas, and the senator was from Florida, Mr. Rubio. So in response to the backlash, the sisters their offer was rescinded by the Dodgers. However, a lot of angry gay folks in West Hollywood and elsewhere in Los Angeles, California, decided to protest this decision. They created a public awareness campaign, not only of the sisters, but of Pride Night itself. And in so doing, they convinced the Dodgers to offer this again. And so they did, and the sisters accepted. You can see Sister Unity right there in this lovely blue frock. And I think that's Sister Candy Side right next to her. And below that is Sister Beyoncé Knows. This all worked. Yeah, we love Beyoncé. So this was a great success for the sisters in terms of public relations. It was sort of like the Streisand effect. You try to erase something off the internet, and instead it just gets bigger and bigger. It made the sisters look like the innocent little flowers that we are. And in fact, that bishop in East Texas was demoted by the Pope not just a few months ago. Yeah, well, I'm not going to applaud that, but if you want to, okay. Okay, well. So how do we, the Weird City Sisters, impact the Austin community? I have 3 different ways, and this is not a scientific classification, but here we go. One is ministry through partying. This is our Red Dress Party. We have a small calendar of events that we do every year. One of them is the Red Dress Party. So back to Dianne Feinstein. She famously said, "When I see the sisters, I see red." And so the sisters made a red dress party out of that in order to raise funds. Woo! Thanks, Diane. This has become an annual tradition for many of our houses. You can see here we're having a good time at Elysium in Austin, and the one on the right, everyone loves Elysium. The one on the right is at a Dallas red dress that happened just a few weeks ago. I think we raised $1,200 on our most recent red dress, which we distributed to smaller nonprofits that are getting their start, just like the PrEP Access Project about a decade ago, which is now the Kind Clinic. When you donate to small organizations, it makes a big impact, and that's what we found. We also like to work with larger organizations. Who's heard of the Hill Country Ride for AIDS? Woo! Yay, HCRA. So they are a team of different organizing teams. They do a ride out in the Hill Country to raise money for AIDS services here in Austin, a variety of beneficiaries. We like to go there. We like to be cheerleaders on the end. I'm not a bicycle rider, that's not my thing. But as you can see over here, we indeed have nuns who ride dozens of miles wearing the kind of stuff that I'm wearing right now. It's fascinating. We've done it for years. We have a great time doing it. And not only do we participate on the day of, we also like to participate in smaller fundraising events for HCRA throughout the year. This was at a loteria. at which I was la gritona, which is the loud mouth. Can you imagine why I did that? Yeah, we love doing that. And they raised like $600,000 this year, which was like incredible. And we did a very small bit of that, but we like to bring the joy when we do organizations like, when we work with organizations like that. The other thing that we do is a ministry of presence. And this is basically when we go up and show up at things like this. I'm not expecting any cash out of this, but I wanted to come be here with y'all tonight, and I'm very pleased to do that. An example of that is just, it's Pride Month. We're everywhere. We're doing all things all at once. So on the bottom here, we have Queer Bomb Austin. Who's heard of Queer Bomb? Yes! I was so humbly blessed to speak the invocation at Queer Bomb this year and march at the very front of the parade. You can also see this was from the Greatest Little Pride in Texas, which was in Killeen, Texas, just this past week. This photo actually appeared in the Killeen Herald. Oh, okay, I'm done. Woo! Okay, so, God, sorry, I'm over. So, practicing gratitude. Thanks for having me. Woo! So all my social medias are right here. You can go to our website where you can find our emails to reach out to us. We also accept donations through Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. And thanks for having us. It's been such a pleasure to be here.
All right, we are 2 for 2 on spectacular talks tonight. I'm so excited. Who's got the first question? Y'all are all stunned into silence by this dazzling presentation.
It's all the glitter.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Got one in the corner over here on the
Oh,
booth.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so during Pride, or just any time of year, I guess, what are some other local organizations y'all like to work with that maybe don't get as much attention, and just stuff that off the top of your head, that just local LGBTQ, et cetera, friendly organizations that you would recommend?
That's a great question. One of the ones, I can't remember the name of it right now, but we donated part of our red dress this past year to a group that does sex worker advocacy. That is a community that is very frequently ignored in the larger nonprofit world. And so it was a big pleasure for us to donate some money for folks who really need it. Right now, I think we like to work with Ashwell, but even Ashwell is Austin Sexual Health and Wellness. They are doing a great job, and their budget has increased dramatically. So we still give money to them. We also have donated to the National Alliance for Mental Health and Illness, the National Association for the Prevention of Suicide, smaller things like the David Powell Clinic, which does aid services in Austin. We love working with Project Transitions. We love them, who provide housing to folks with HIV who otherwise wouldn't have a house here in Central Texas. They're the largest provider of housing for folks with HIV in Central Texas. Yes, please donate to those if you can. Yeah. And if y'all, any donation that y'all give us, we act as a clearinghouse and give it right back out to them. Because we don't, I buy my own glitter. I buy my own guiche, you know. Any other questions?
Ooh, perfect.
Mickey.
Got a ringer.
Yeah. So what's next? Where can we see you out in the world?
Well, tonight, actually, after this, I'm going to Ace Pride. I'm scanning for children. The first asexual Pride event is going to be held at Cheer Up Charlie's tonight. It is called No Fucks Given. Ha 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 ha. It's pretty cute, right? So I'm very happy to be, and I think actually Bridget Bandit's going to be there, so I'm pretty excited about that. After that, you can see us frequently at the gay bars, Austin Eagle, the Iron Bear, downtown doing things. We were at the Paramount for a Pride event this past Thursday. We'll have a pool party in August. We'll be at Austin Pride in August. We'll have our red dress on World AIDS Day. So follow us on social media, and you can keep up with our goings-on there. Thanks for asking.
Mickey is a reliable source of high-quality questions.
Thank you.
Got another one right here. What you got?
So I might have gotten this wrong, but you said there's 9 full sisters in Texas. Is that right?
So 9 full sisters in the Austin house. When I showed you all the synod, you might have missed it at the very beginning. There are sisters in Dallas, in San Antonio, and in Houston. The Dallas house, I think they got like 35 sisters right now, which is it's a lot. Whereas San Antonio and Houston are kind of smaller at this point. So we're glad to be giving Dallas a run for their money. Yeah.
I love that. But you're running a lot of really good events. Are the introductory members able to participate, and to what degree can you participate?
Great question. Yes, they're totally able to participate. We like to get them to go around with our bucket. We call it bucketing. And they just go, hi, give me money, hi. A lot of times we'll sell Jell-O shots, which is a great way. A bar will donate a bottle of liquor to us. We donate a bottle of, or a pack of Jell-O. We make those shots, and then we can raise up, a considerable few $100s pretty quickly just by going around doing that. And I like to have our junior members go and do that. Yeah, so we love to have them participate. Thanks.
Excellent questions. Y'all are doing great tonight. Anybody over on this side of the room? All right, let's do it. What you got?
So I was curious about the kind of rituals and are those like centrally created by like the San Francisco group, or do each individual house kind of create their own?
That's a fun question. In fact, there are some rituals that we like to participate in as a group. So like the basic structure of like the aspirancy through fully professed, the idea of perpetual indulgence, our vows that we take, those are all sort of boilerplate throughout. However, we do like to do rituals. For example, we have a lot of glitter ceremonies. I think I got some of my sacred glitter with me tonight in my purse. And we do blessings with our sacred glitter. This glitter has been through everything. It contains pubic hair, drugs, cremains of the nuns of the above, as well as a lot of glitter. And it's a sacred thing that is kept by houses and by different houses. We like to come do it, and so when we do those ceremonies, it's sort of like whoever wants to do it. So I have actually written a ceremony that we have not done yet, which is based on the Weird Sisters, who are characters in the Scottish play, which I won't say because I'm on stage, and I'm not going to curse us like that. Yes, so you can, it's kind of make it up on your own. We like to follow our instincts. The original sisters, when they manifested, they didn't know what they were doing, but they had good instincts, and so we like to follow that. Thanks.
All right. Looking for a final question. No pressure. Just has to be the best question.
In the very back.
Ooh, yes. All right. Making me work for it tonight. That's fine. I've not been sitting down all day. This is perfect. What you got?
Thank you very much for your presentation. This was very informative for me. I didn't know what y'all are doing. I want to ask you that I work in AI, and I started my startup, and I want to know how we can donate in terms of technology and education to your group, and maybe make your life easier and solve one problem for you.
When you can create a robot to do my makeup. Actually, no, a robot to clean my house. I call it Hurricane Serena because she leaves a path of destruction in her wake. No, I'm kidding. So I think at this point, what we really need from AI is for the political situation around that to be sorted out. For us, we don't really do a whole lot. Technology-wise, I'm studying cybersecurity, so I just created a technology policy for us. That's something I'm going to have to think about. I don't know, technology. We will take AI money. If you donate that to us, if you don't know who else to donate it to, we will distribute that.
Okay, awesome.
Those are interesting questions. Thank you.
I can make a software bot for you, and that will answer all your questions.
But I love talking. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.